Good morning, Minecraft, and welcome to the World of Archespore with me, One Wolf. And today I'm going to be starting a new project. So I wanted to take a look at some of where I had been and where I'm going with it, and kind of where I got the idea for this new project. Something I've been wanting to do for a long time. Up here, about halfway up the mansion, this is the main bedroom, master bedroom, I guess, and taking a look out over everything that I've built so far. When I first started this, I wanted to build a city with lots of glass towers and skyscrapers and all sorts of stuff. Maybe a bunch of little shops and just make it into a downtown type area. But it's coming along fairly well, I guess. I still need to populate it with a bunch of little shops and some other stuff. Maybe even take another side road and run it through the archway here. But the lion kind of gets in the way of that, making it straight. So I haven't really started any of that yet. I've got a big library over here. I've got a hotel. I've got an interesting looking tower. Not sure what kind of purpose it holds yet, but it's there. Here in the distance, I've got a couple more towers which seem to disappear when you look straight at them. The closer one, all glass and sandstone, is a melon farm, and the farther one is just another artistic thought that I had. Was actually I built it while watching the movie Paul, so it kind of ended up looking kind of alien and spacey. Sorry about that. I didn't really have like a theme for the downtown area other than to just, build some really cool looking towers. And over here is another unfinished project, which, there we go, let's get up on that. Here's another unfinished project, still waiting for the official 1.9 to come out, which, hearing some of the latest news, is not coming out. I really hope it does, because I've been putting off this project, waiting and waiting and waiting. So it looks like 1.9 may not come out, and they're just going to skip to 1.10. So I don't know. So once I'm able to get back into the nether and able to collect some nether brick, I'll be rebuilding all of that with nether brick instead. But the focus of today is to discuss the next project. So as I mentioned earlier, when I first walked through this desert, I had a plan to build a lot of tall buildings, skyscrapers, and to make this into a downtown area. When I looked at this lake over here, my first thought was to build something underwater, because it looked like a fairly large body of water and it looked fairly deep for, the old generation, or the old map generation. It looked pretty big and deep. But now that I'm playing on 1.8, I've discovered that the ocean biome is so much bigger and deeper. Off here at the end of this road is a nice, gigantic, almost endless ocean biome. Almost endless meaning that I have not yet found an end to it. I went out to about negative X negative 3000, and all I found was a little island out there. That was in a separate save where I just loaded it up in creative mode and just flew and flew and flew and flew. Found nothing but an island. So I think what I'm going to do is now I'm going to skip ahead and show you the location that I've picked to build my underwater whatever it's going to be. I'll tell you this, it's going to be a dome, but after I build the dome, I don't know where we're going to go from there. So we'll jump ahead. I don't need to show you guys me walking the whole distance. So I will be right back. Okay, here we are at about X negative 1000. The Z puts me about the same center as the mansion, pretty close. But this is an area I generally refer to as the end of the world. Why is it the end of the world? Because this is where the 1.7 chunks end and the 1.8 chunks begin. Pretty obvious border here in the ocean, and you can see that that mountain is cut off right in half. So this is the ocean that I was talking about that goes on seemingly forever. I haven't found an end to it yet. If anybody on my server would like to explore it, feel free. Go right ahead. Go as far as you want. I would say don't go any farther than, say, 5 or 10,000. I would like to keep the world save a little bit small. I mean, it'd be nice to have a fairly big one, but not too big. It's currently at, I think it's pushing 100 meg right now, so it's pretty close. So I really wouldn't want to have it go too much bigger. But out here in this ocean, whoop, nice little dip there. I set up a little workstation so I can begin my next project. Every time I start a new project, I always set up a bunch of chests and get myself prepared to actually start building. It's got to be here somewhere. I should be able to see it by now. Okay, I think I'm starting to see some of it. There we go. There's a little landmark out here. And I've done some marking. Since it's going to be a dome, it needs to be fairly round. So I've marked out 10 by 10 steps, or 10 steps of 10. So there's 3 steps of 10, meaning the radius should be 30 with a center point. So the diameter is actually 61 blocks wide. So it's going to be fairly big. All right, let's see if we can get... Ah! That was crazy. Okay, as you can see below, there's a little box with some chests in it. And I don't know how well this is going to show up on the video. But if it doesn't show up very well, I've got some other tricks that I can do to make it brighter. But this is my little workspace. I started by creating a cube of dirt and then placing the glass around it, and then removing the dirt, leaving an air pocket behind. Now, also, one of the reasons why I picked this particular location, because not only is it fairly deep, it's pretty close to layer 40. 42 is about good. That gives me 20 blocks high of dome that I can build. So 20 blocks above me is where the ceiling of the dome is going to be. The other big reason why I picked this location is if we step out here a little bit, I'm not sure if you can see it in the dark, but there is a large collection of abandoned mine shafts down here. So I don't have to do a great deal of digging in order to collect more resources. They're already exposed due to the mine shafts. I took a tip from Etho, watching one of his latest videos, and he cut out a large room by cutting down the walls between the mine shafts, and it makes a very effective method for clearing a large area. So I went ahead and did that. I cleared out this space down here, collected a nice amount of cobblestone. So we'll head back up to my storage boxes, and I've got 2 chests. There it is. There's the other chest. 2 chests full of cobblestone ready to go. I've got a whole bunch of sand. I've got some glass that I had cooked off from a previous project. The sand is ready to bake. I haven't actually started baking a lot of it. I've got a lot of dirt. I'm not sure if I'm going to use dirt or sand to remove the water once the dome is filled in. That's still a plan that I need to work on. I've got my tools. I grabbed a stack of diamonds that I have stashed so that if I need to, I could make more tools, but I don't think I'm going to run out of these tools just yet, or during this project. I've got a whole bunch of charcoal that I baked off. I've been collecting a whole bunch of coal from the abandoned mine shafts. I've got a bunch of wood that I collected from my tree farm. I should probably show you guys my tree farm. I know I've shown off my sugarcane farm. I may actually be using sugarcane as a breathing tool. So here is stacks of sugarcane that I've been placing around, which allow me to have little breathing points while I'm working underwater. It may not be the best tool to use. Unawild, the other builder on my server, suggested using glass panes, so I may try that instead. But I like the sugar cane because I can walk through it and I can create little underwater roads or pathways, so that's a pretty effective method. Where was I? Over here. I may actually try and use sandstone to build it out of instead of cobble. But, okay, well let me jump over to my tree farm and I will show you guys the newly expanded tree farm. So I will be right back. Okay, here I am in my underground mine. I have dubbed Lava Land. Why do I call it Lava Land? Well, take a look around. There are these pools of lava everywhere. I dug down to layer 12, which is where all the pools of lava are. So that's why I call my Lava Land mines. There's lots and lots of lava. So I'm going to head over here past this was supposed to be my central subway station, but since when I built it, there wasn't really anywhere to go. It's kind of been unfinished. Now that I have several other people building on my server, I do intend to make the subway station actually go to everybody's location. That's going to take a lot of digging. Speaking of a lot of digging, here is my underground tree farm. Yes, I dug out all of this. Most of it was done using TNT. The tree farm is currently 8 trees deep and 6 trees wide. I do want to expand it out, probably that direction, to the point where I can have another two more rows of trees. I want to have 64. I want to be able to plant 64 trees, so that would be 8 trees wide, 8 trees deep. I like using birch in my tree farms because they don't grow too tall and they never produce any branches, so they're easy to chop down. This box is mainly intended for the oak. I've got some leaves, some saplings. This is my toolbox. Here's the TNT, levers, some redstone, some extra stuff. Here's all my axes that I've been using. I've got a workbench. This is my birch and bone meal. I still have an entire chest full of bones that I've been able to pull out of my monster trap, which is back at my first workstation with the what is that called? The Mob Evader collection booth, I believe. I still have a lot of bone meal from that. This was intended to be my pine box, but it looks like I've been loading it up with other junk. I don't know how my sandstone got in here. Maybe it's because I was I don't know. I think I was working on the road and I came over here and I needed to do some more work on the tree farm, so I just unloaded the sandstone into this box. So let's take a look at the other end. I believe Uno Wild and Piston Minecraft were helping me out, digging this area out, expanding it the last time. I don't remember, it was like a week or so ago. But I did have all of this glowstone, which I replaced my torch lights with. So the trees, I haven't had any trees complain yet. When I was using the torch lighting, I would place down a tree sapling and occasionally it would pop out of the ground before I had a chance to bone meal it. I no longer have that problem at all, thanks to these glowstone lights. So I believe that's it for my tree farm. I think the next place I'm going to look at is my sand pit, where I've been getting a lot of my sand. I know that I have this huge desert to start with, but I wanted to move my sand collection area away from the downtown because it kind of looks ugly when you start pulling. I don't know who it was that coined it, their sand pit as a moon biome. I think it was either Etho or DocM or somebody. But yeah, I'm going to head over to where I've created this moon biome. So be right back. Okay, here I am on the back side of the library. Here are well, it's also the back side of the Twin Peaks. There's one and there's the other. They look very different from this side, I know, but you can kind of make out the library there. And this is the hillside behind the library. Haven't really shown a lot of footage from here, but this is where my sand and sandstone collection area is. It's way over here. Let's see if we can find the best path to get there. I was originally trying to terraform this into and make I was trying to terraform this and make the water deeper, and at the same time I was collecting a bunch of sand. I don't remember where. I think it was mainly going for the highway. Yeah, I think this is where I got a lot of the sand for the King's Highway, and trying to think what else I was building. Maybe the melon farm is where a lot of this sand went to. So here's the big sand pit that I recently carved out. All of the sand, this used to be a hill. It was a little bit higher than that, covered in sand, and I've dug it all out and collected the sand and the sandstone, and this whole hill got transported over to the, where is that? the new project. These holes were from coal collection, and I still haven't finished clearing out all the sand from here and the sandstone, so I still have quite a bit left. I mean, I could do some underwater collections over there, and then I've got all this sand over here, so I do have a lot of sand that I can still work with. And Una Wild and I were doing some exploring over in some 1.8 chunks to the east of where the underwater workstation is set up, and if you head east from there, you run into a really really large desert. I thought my desert over there that I'm building my town in was big, but the desert, the 1.8 desert, is just tremendous. It's huge. So don't worry guys, I have a lot of sand, and with my tree farm and my charcoal and all the mine shafts underneath, I have more than enough fuel to cook all of that sand into the glass that I guarantee I'm going to use 2 or 3 chests of just glass to build my dome. So I've been doing a lot of collecting of sand in order to prepare for that. So this is actually just one of my sand pits. I do have, I don't remember where it is, but I do have another sand pit around somewhere. It's pretty much used up, so I don't even, it was a small desert biome, so I chop down hills, like sandy hills, and turn them into something. So, alright, now that you guys have seen where I'm getting all my resources, let's go ahead and jump back over to the new project itself. Bleed has got something interesting going on over that direction. I'm not sure if he's recorded any of the footage from it or not, but this is also where my last video, I believe, the Rivertown Ruins, I believe, was the very last video. So that is where we started. So this is, I mean, this is not very far away from my other projects, but it's still out of the way of the downtown area. You can't see it from here. So let's go ahead and jump back to the current underwater project, and let's see how that's going. And so this concludes the first step in my underwater project. Stay tuned for more in-depth footage of the construction process. Thanks for watching. This is One Wolf saying have a good night.